Shrek! Yeah, I don't have an opening joke. Shrek is a book that was written and illustrated by William Steig in 1990 about a repugnant green monster named Shrek, who gets kicked out of his swamp by his parents and goes to a castle to marry a princess who is uglier than him. The book was successful, and Steven Spielberg bought the rights to Shrek and was going to make a 2D animated movie. This was until DreamWorks bought the rights to Shrek and started making a 3D film in 1995. Chris Farley was originally going to do the voice of Shrek, but he passed away before he could finish recording all of his lines. So DreamWorks recast the role of Shrek to Mike Myers, who insisted on a complete script rewrite. After recording his lines and then being shown a rough cut of the movie, Mike Myers requested that he would re-record his lines, but in a Scottish accent. When the movie came out, it was the highest grossing film of the year, until that December when it was beaten by Harry Potter. I always hated that boy. But that didn't matter, the movie was still a huge success, which of course means there's a bunch of Shrek video games. And Shrek Fairytale Freakdown was released on May 29, 2001 in the US and July 6, 2001 in the UK. The game was developed by Prolific and published by TDK Interactive. This game is a story that can only be found in the manual and isn't explained anywhere in the game. The story is that all the fairytale creatures are competing in a tournament to see who the ultimate champion is. The manual also contains character bios, giving a description of every character and their moveset. You can also find button combos and how many points you need to unlock the special abilities, invincibility, speed, and ogre strength. This game has 9 playable characters, including the Magic Mirror, who creates a clone of your character during mirror matches, just so you have to fight 9 times. When you start playing the game, the first thing you notice is how bad the controls are. Everything is slow and stiff. If you want any sense of speed, you have to jump towards your opponent, but sometimes that can get you killed. The first character you encounter is the Big Bad Wolf, who is in the forest. He is very easy to defeat, just like Pinocchio, who is in the village, which looks beautiful. The stage has great coloring, and you can also see the DreamWorks kid in the background. After that, you fight the first boss, the Gingerbread Man. You fight him in a dungeon, and you can see all different types of torture devices in the background. One of Gingerbread Man's moves is the gumdrop button attack, which he constantly spams the attack to the point that this image is burned to my brain, and not Gingerbread Man being crushed into pieces. This boss fight is tricky and can be the end of the road for some characters. If you manage to get past that, you fight Shrek in the swamp, unless you're playing as Fiona, in which she ends up against her clone. Probably because the developers didn't want to promote fighting a partner to the little kids. When he loses, he falls and farts, one of the things Shrek seems to be the most known for. Next up is Monsieur Hood. Do you remember this guy? I don't, but I do remember that you fight him in the dark forest where a bunch of eyes watch you fight. At his level, it's common to fall down pits, but other than that, he's easy. Now we are up against the second boss, the dragon. You fight her on a bridge over lava, and she's not intimidating in the slightest because they made her arms ridiculously chubby. After that, you find Fiona at the castle, but you're not here to rescue her, you're here to fight her, unless you're playing a Shrek where he fights his clone. Fiona has a kung fu kick, which makes her the best character to play as. The attack can be spammed and does a lot of damage. Next up is the best Shrek character, Thelonious, aka the guy who said number 3. You fight him in a wrestling ring. He has a very basic moveset, and I don't remember throwing axes ever being allowed in wrestling. The most interesting thing about Thelonious is that he's in a wrestling ring. Other than that, he's another throwaway character. But thankfully, we made it to the final boss, Lord Farquaad. Why? Look at this guy, does he look like a threat to you? You fight him in the mirror room. He has a move where he dances on your head, but you can perform this move without even being on your opponent's head, which can lead to the best thing ever. Lord Farquaad is really good to play as, but he is locked, so why would you even bother replaying the game as him? And that's it. That is the game. This game is a shameless cash grab, has absolutely nothing noteworthy to it. Unlike other licensed games I've played, those actually seem like they had a point to them. But this one, if I put it here, it's a waste of space, so let's get rid of it and put a better game on it. Hell yeah.